What's going on, guys? I've got here a 2006 Honda CRV, and I'm using this car to point out to you the location of the important fuses and relays for the operation of your radiator cooling fans. Before we get into the electrical system though, I just want to show you my preliminary troubleshooting steps. So one of the first things I like to do is just check to see if I'm able to turn the radiator fan blades by hand. A lot of times the motors on these cars will seize, and so that's really what I'm checking for. I'm also checking to see if anything has fallen down into the shrouds, which may obstruct the motion of the cooling fans. Now, if you do this step, be careful, as these fans can come on at any time. So be able to pull your fingers out quickly. I don't want you to injure yourself. Now, another thing that you can do is check to see if the fan is receiving a power and a ground. So we've got here a connector for what Honda calls the condenser fan, which is on the passenger side. I'm going to go ahead and disconnect it here by pushing on this tab and pulling it out. And this pin here should be receiving a constant ground. The other pin should receive a power when our condensing fan relay is engaged. So you can check that out on both sides. So our other connector is right in here. Pretty much the same procedure. You disconnect it by pushing in on this tab and pulling it out, and check for the presence of a power and a ground. Also, inspect the contacts. Sometimes they can get burnt or corroded, which will cause your fan to not work so well. Now, moving on from that, we're going to take a look inside of this fuse box here. This is where we can find the relays and the fuses for the cooling fans. So let's take a look. We pinch these two tabs together and lift up, and again on the other side. These are the two relays for the cooling fans, and these two fuses provide power to those relays. Now, the top relay here is for the condenser fan, which is on the passenger side. This one is for the driver's side fan. And here with the fuses, we have the 20 amp fuse here providing power to our driver's side, and the one underneath it provides power to the passenger side. Now, my favorite way to troubleshoot these relays is to tap on them. Sometimes relays can get stuck, and just by tapping on them, you can get them to start working again. Further troubleshooting beyond that, we can remove the relay, set it aside, and swap in a different relay. If after you swap the relay, the fan kicks on, well, then you know your original relay is probably no good. Another thing that we can do with the relay removed is we can directly send power to the fans. So, for example, on this upper one, if we touch those two pins together, we will be sending power directly to the passenger side fan from our 20 amp fuse right here. So if you do this, the fan should kick on, assuming that it's plugged in, that your fuse is good, and your battery is good. If the fan does not kick on, then it's very likely that the fan is no good. Now, there's one other fuse I want to show you, which is inside the car, and the role of this fuse is to provide power to the actual relays for the relays to engage. So let's go take a look. So to the right of the steering wheel is our fuse box. Just open this up like so. And let's see, what we're looking for is fuse 14, which is a 10 amp fuse. In the middle row of fuses, it goes 7.5, 10, and then 10. And that's the one for us. So I'll go and pull this out just to show you what a good fuse looks like. So yeah, I hope that this information has been helpful for you, or at the very least a good starting point in troubleshooting the cooling fan on your Honda. Please do let me know down below if you have any questions or any advice, and thanks for watching.